when it's about 450 people, but a majority of them are women. So when they collected the form, they filled in. So when the applications were sent to me, when I reviewed it, that proposal stood out. Simply because we're trying to support creation of employment, but you will realize that already women are more engaged in agricultural employment. So when I saw the proposal and the way the things they were asking for, seeds, implement, and fertilizer, I was like, okay, this sounds very serious because I'm always looking for serious projects.
Mune alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin ren mom am nañ jiw bay am nañu luñ leen mëna fay be dessal mune affaireu fay bi mom bobu mom bum leen jaaxal alhamdulillah am nañ ci yaakar bu baaxa baaxa baax.
Initially we were targeting 250 communities, but then we had to expand to 347. But then you calculate how many villages or communities do we have in the Gambia. You are talking of something close to 2,000 currently. 347 is just a drop in the ocean. At least to reach more people, because poverty has spread all over. Where the project cannot cover, that's where we developed proposals, because we are still getting requests and demands from communities to also be assisted in acquiring some of these skills. So we had to develop proposals, send them to GAMJobs, who did a review and eventually approved. There are these household and institutional stoves that we also, through the department, have introduced. And it's also becoming very popular, especially in the urban areas and growth centers, because you will consume very minimal amount of fuel wood. And it is very healthy because you build it, construct it, and you have your chimneys, and the smoke will not disturb anything. You prepare your food in a very healthy and convenient environment. So it has contributed to safeguarding the health of the women who are most of the time in the kitchens cooking and having to go through that inhaling of the smoke, which is not good for our health.
Wa ñun jigen yi dañu noppale ñun dañ noppale ko ci li mata yi luñ séré ni li noppale ko nañ parce que bo amé ben say mata bo duga ben banta rek ding fa toga ba nga jéxal saxar bi du ngé dem ci kaw sa wañ bi du tilim du ñuul.
We have identified Ingram Street as a pilot phase because we see Ingram as very, very strategic, and most of the comparably most of the streets in Banjul are that length, and then the realities on the ground are also very similar, you know, not having proper drainage. Then the pavement that was there has totally been eroded over the years, you know, and the salinity of the area. So we thought that, you know, that could be a very good sample, an area that could be used as a sample. And we anticipate that once that is successful, that one is successful, then we have no doubt that anywhere else in Banjul, the project will also be successful.
Fila yaro, fila mage. Koñ bi baaxoon na bu jëkk koñ bu baax la woon wax dëgg yàlla fii lañ daan nekk di foo xam nga taay mi xaleel be mag yàlla def mu yàqu luy baax nag dafa yàqu rek su yàggee comme yéen a ngi ñëw nag pour dimbale ñu defaraat koñ bi loolu kontaan nañ ci torop li leen ñaanal yal na leen yàlla jàppale ngeen mottali ko ak jàmm kontaan nañ torop.
We've already identified a site, and that is the road from the highway going through the health center. And the pavement blocks are already brought. They are already transported here. We had another meeting with them on site, GAM Works, the GAM Job, and we had GTTI and the National Road Authority. You see, we are at the preparatory stage now to set the thing on. Now we have to do certain things, that is the clearing of the drains, you see, because the road must go along with drains. But fortunately for us, there are existing drains already. Now what we need to do is to clean the drains and replace the broken slabs. You see, that one we are having partnership with the National Road Authority, who promised to give us the technical backup, and then council with GAM job will see how best to do that work.
You see, youth and women, we are related. We have the same sort of problems. The fact that we are everywhere and nowhere, like my colleague always says, puts us in a very difficult situation, because they tend to forget it. They say, oh, you are everywhere, you know, all sectors are addressing your needs, but we are nowhere. So that is the difficulty. So we need to be somewhere. A lot of resources need to be specifically targeted at both women and youth for us to realize the objectives for which our two ministries are set.
Now, if you see youth, it is involving women. GAM jobs is twice women-driven, if you want to take it that way, because youth, you will have both women and men. Again, GAM jobs is specifying women as the two pillars, youth on one side, women on the other side. On both sides, you have the women being given credence, be it young woman or being an older woman. It doesn't matter, because these continue to give substance to the strive for national development.
The majority of the business people in the market are women. And here we also want to encourage the young women to also venture into these businesses. Let them not leave it with the old women.
Niente tara ingine silo kan iba folla nyimmero bari nyimmero mala jumala momonti atara mantra bala fa mo kono parce que mbele firin halalo la andu mbele filan ndimol ye balu halalo la andu mbele filan to ma fanan yenje je nyama je nyami yalon ko kariye nyine ke mbato ngakata fom fana ngatambala mbele firin wala doliye na yetambintela.
The food processing industry, which is likely to be the first and primary beneficiary of the incubation center, and more specifically in the area of processing machines, is dominated by women. And naturally, as the project grows and expands, and we are less challenged by the availability of resources, we will extend the capacity of the incubation center to include more activities in other sectors dominated by women. And this is not really by accident, but by design, because women, I don't have to make a case for them. They have already made a case for themselves.
Okay, import, export, women are already in it, and young women among them. Fashion designing. We have the AGOA program, we can take advantage of it, only if we add a local content to whatever we export. So that's another area we can take advantage of, really, the informal sector. There's a lot, like small-scale industries. So this is where maybe if GAM jobs expands in the future, it can look at that as well.
Women are underemployed. We want to give them the required skills, the required know-how. You would see that a lot of entrepreneurship studies or training have been conducted for women mainly, and the youths as well, of course, those that come through GAM jobs. So we want to equip them beyond the project life of GAM jobs.
Whatever we earn, we add it to whatever our husbands earn and invest back in the family. So if you invest in those women, you help create employment or improve their employment opportunities or skills. That means they earn more. Then obviously education will be addressed. The health status of families will be improved. And also all other issues of, for example, gender-based violence and peace and security will come up automatically.
If you say women, obviously, encompasses or includes some young people, because some young people are women, and of course that includes them. Now, even in the exclusion of that, young or women are the people that, more often than not take care of these young people. More often than not, you realize that it is the women that kind of care even for the young people more. Young people are even closer to the women, and that is why if the women are empowered, if the women are given the skill